Oh, yeah. You're waiting to go.
A very good evening and warm welcome to Eswatini TV News at 8. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Linda Masugu, and signing with tonight is Nomakliso Gule. Let's take a look at the news main headlines tonight. Deputy Prime Minister says there are over 1,000 children who are currently housed at different facilities across the country. Minister of Finance says the National Payment Systems Bill of 2022 will connect the country's financial activity to the global economy. And different stakeholders have deliberated on counter-terrorism and how to delay economic growth within the southern region. Well, let's get straight into the news in detail. His Majesty King Edward has officially led the Ascent Day service for this year. The service will be held on Thursday, the 18th of May at Mbongweni Royal Residence. This was announced by the President of the League of Churches, Archbishop Samson Hlachwago, at Eswatini Royal Residence.
Nasi simetho sibalekile bekune lesiphuma esigodlweni lithini semakholwa phela kangwa ngaphandle kwaleli nesive sonke kuthi seyinkuzo ye-ancient day inkonzo lesithathu lwenyuko le nkonzo imhlati ilishumi nesiphohlongo kuMeyi noma inkwekhwethi esigodlweni embangweni eshiselweni njalo kwemakhosi bekunene abusisa ukuthi Jesu ufa akalobama esontweni lesivenkanini esuvuke stadium somhlolo bewenyuka esigodlweni eshiselweni bafundisi ke bacelwa ukuthi bona befike mhlathi ilishumi nesikhombisa kuye insimbi elishukuseni bakwakha uhlelo lwale nkonzo siyacela ke makholwa ngalomhla ka-18 nga-10 ekuseni babe sebahleli phasi simamele kufika kwemakhosi noma loyo basathuma makhosi sicela sihlonipha sayathi ishise yahlonipha kunene nigcine hloniphe fike emakhosi lolo bathunywe makhosi ningayaluki nabantu khombe embutho embube mbutho etekuyongana lele ukuthi lapha khanjwa la nibalalele bekunene siyacela ke ukuthi bazalwane bona befike entsambama ngalomhla ka-17 ngoba kuyabe sekuba nemvuselelo ngalolo lesithathu umhla ka-17 kuze kuse umhla ka-18 lapho sesingena kule nkolo enkulu khona sicela ke bazalwane nigcine athi nifike emakhaya lokhu noma lothunywe makhosi azaphume kungikhona nicala luka be siyabonga wena waphakathi lokhipha simemetelo Bishop Samson Hlachwago egameni lebukhosi siyabonga.
The Deputy Prime Minister Themba Masuku says there are over 1,000 children who are currently housed in different facilities that they can't wait to be adopted into families. The Deputy Prime Minister has been speaking in Parliament during the adoption of the Children's Welfare Action Regulations of 2022.
When the Senate convened for parliamentary duties on Monday, Chairperson of the Ministry of Finance Portfolio Committee in Senate, Senator Prince Mshengu, moved that the Honorable Senate debate and adopts the Children's Protection and Welfare Adoption Regulations of 2022 in terms of Section 150 of the Constitution of the Act. The chairperson was seconded by Senator Mkhululi Dlamini on the motion.
Babuke lokhanza ukuthi lo mntana kude longakhanza ukuthi ungamatanisa naye bendlula ke baveta lokho ukuthi kutaba nemakomiti ngehlukana let us asebenzele yonzaba leyo mengameli. Wasijabulisa futhi ukuthi akukapheleli nalapho mengameli noma komiti angasebenza gcina nene high court kube ngiyo leli hlolako lokuthi vele lethi niyahambe ungilesimo lokhanza ukuthi niyasteka yini mengameli.
Lo mthetho muhle mengameli ngaloko ukuthi ngalesilungu uyasho ukuthi bo high court uyasho ukuthi kutawuba nemakomiti lanjani based on section 58 wa Child Protection Act.
Senators then debate the motion.
Lama relations now baliwe sitawufika ungabe sengiya withdraw kanjani ngoba mhlambe lami angadative
bala vele ke siko lakithi ngibamikisa kamamncane ngibamikisa kamzala bakhulele kagugu wabo kanjalo kanje lokuthi nje sekuthiwa hayi asale ba-adoptwa impela ngathi asengibambe.
The Deputy Prime Minister Themba Masuku answered to the next questions.
Every human being needs to belong. Lapho sikhuluma bang 1144 lalabala kulama care facilities. Labneng bakhona ngilabangenalo limuva labanye bakhona ngibe incest labangafuneki nje nalena lapha kukhona khona bangambulala nangakavele lalabenziwa le incest. Abanye ngibe labo bantu labo labanye tinhlito tabo leti.
The Senate adopted 2022 regulations for the Children's Protection and Welfare Adopt regulations. Reporter Eswatini News. I am Samgal Suekoza with Sikumbuzo Dlamini, Parliament.
The Minister of Finance, Neil Rackenberg, says the National Payment Systems Bill of 2022 will connect the country's financial activity to the global economy. The Minister has been speaking in Parliament during the adoption of the bill.
Senator Prince Mshengu on Monday moved that the Senate adopts the report of the Portfolio Committee of the Ministry of Finance on the National Payment System Bill number 2 of 2022. He was seconded by Senator Winnie Nxumalo on the motion.
Njalo kuye kube nendlela lokhanza ukuthi lokubhatalana kuye kube malula mengameli noma kwendiwe ukuthi kube malula ngelanga ngelanga. Indlela esizakala ngayo mengameli nendlela bebabhatala ngayo seyigijima kakhulu lemhla iyathuthukisa yenza nokusebenza ukuthi kube malula. Lokwendeka kwemengameli lo mthetho kanza ukuthi ugadzele etotini zabo. So utange
sekukhona tindlela leseti fast ukuthi sibhadalana kanjani. So ke nato leto tindlela kude lokude emathabela ngodi akhona. Lokwelusa ke letinjena kufuna kube ngumthetho.
Has then debated the committee's report.
Lokumto ukuthi kusabhadana awube umthetho ukuthi timali tibonakala ukuthi tichaphi timali tibonakala ukuthi futhi tibhadalana ngaloku ngesikhathi nangendlela lefair.
After the request by the Minister of Finance, Neil Rackenberg, of having the Senate constitute itself into the committee of the House and pass the bill into an act, the Minister appreciated the Senate's support.
We agree. This is why we want a very good way to get full buy-in. By the time we pass it, we know everyone's on the same page. There's no one saying, "Oh, they will lift our process." So we appreciate the process that was followed to honourable senators in the way we did this. So it'll definitely help us to take the country forward on all the different payment platforms that we're battling with at the moment without this. So thank you very much to the whole House.
The Senate then adopted the committee's report together with the National Payment System Bill of 2022. Reporting for Eswatini TV, I'm Sam Suekoza with Sikumbuzo Dlamini.
The Minister of Commerce, Industry and Trade, Mangoba Khumalo, is currently in Abu Dhabi attending annual investment meeting. The meeting commenced on Monday, May 8.
The meeting commenced with the official opening on May 8, 2023, under the theme Future Investment Opportunities to Foster Sustainable Economic Growth, Diversity and Prosperity. The event is under the UAE Ministry of Industry and Technology with the aim of speeding up global economic recovery. The Honorable Minister accompanied of his ambassador to UAE, His Excellency Sifiso Dlamini, the Director of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprise Dlamini, and other officials. On the sidelines of the meeting, the Honorable Minister also met with officials from Abu Dhabi Chamber of Commerce with discussions centered around potential investment in mutual areas of interest and value chain. Other meetings, the Honorable Minister and his delegation attended with discussions on the future digital transformation, integrating innovative technology. For coming days, the Honorable Minister of Commerce and his delegation will attend sessions on the investment facilitation, how a new agreement help grow FDI flows and prosperity. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Samkal Suekoza with visuals sourced from the Ministry of Commerce.
Peace and security are key in the socio-economic development of certain countries that it has to maintain. Different stakeholders deliberated on counter-terrorism and how that's delaying growth with SADC region. Stakeholders workshop was held at the Sibane Hotel in Zolweni.
The threat assessment conducted in the year 2020 revealed new security threats on the landscape of SADC region, such as terrorism and violent extremism, amongst others. These threats pose a challenge to the region's ability to maintain peace and stability. The principal secretary in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, explains on the National Counter-Terrorism Stakeholders Workshop.
This workshop is going to draw participants not only from Eswatini, different states from different backgrounds, but we've also invited resource persons from the region who have got first-hand information and experiences in arresting terrorism in the SADC region.
Colonel Mumbi Mulenga, the coordinator of SADC Regional Counterterrorism, says without peace, there would be no economic development.
Nothing proceed in terms of development or even regional integration in the absence of peace. So one of the issues that needs to be addressed in the region, even beyond, is the threat of terrorism. And so we thought that it would be helpful if we arranged such workshops at national level where we involve various stakeholders, especially bearing in mind that issue of terrorism, one that not be by one agency.
The National Counter-Terrorism Stakeholders Workshop on Radicalization and Deradicalization will end on Friday. Reporting IMKN MCB with Muvashonga at Sibane Hotel Zulwini.
The Director of Agriculture, Nelson Mavuso, says the Eswatini loses about 36% of maize during post-harvest. Mavuso says some harvest is lost during harvesting, transportation, as well as during storage.
Minister of Agriculture Director Nelson Mavuso says as farmers are harvesting their crops, they should ensure that this is not during harvest.
One of the recommended methods is the cutting and stocking, where you cut your main stalks so that you can be able to touch every plant in the field and be able to pick everything from your field. The other important benefit of using the stocking method of harvesting is that you are able to eliminate pests, especially stem borer, that grow through the stem of the plant, and during the winter period is usually below the soil surface. So by cutting, you are preventing it to go the next in terms of the development of those pests. So you have less stem borer in your field if you use that method of harvesting. The other important thing is that after you've carried your maize from the field into your storage structure or drying structure, it should be cut. Don't allow it to be exposed to the weather elements.
The terrain continues to farmers who finish picking up their harvest, keep their stock away from fields.
We know that the structures in communities, Boba Betikulu and the Bapamimang, who actually announce when exactly can be let loose from the mountains to come down and graze within the fields. And that is done after everybody has picked up the crop. We as a ministry are very concerned that most of the time we find that farmers have had a problem, that somebody's cattle has devoured my crop. That's not the issue of the Ministry of Agriculture. It's an issue of the police.
The director said another harvest is in milling as grain mill are usually found on the ground. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla Nkosi inside.
The Ministry of Labour and Social Security informs students studying in local tertiary institutions and supported through the government scholarship program that payment of student allowances for the academic year 2022-2023 began in February 2023 for universities and colleges whose academic year commenced from October 2022. The tertiary institutions whose academic year began in February 2023, student allowances paid on 1st week of May 2023. Colleges whose academic year started in April 2023, student allowances are yet to be paid pending submission of invoices by the tertiary institutions to the Ministry of Labour. The Ministry wishes to advise all students the following cabinet approval: an additional 1,000 loans awards was made in 2023 at all universities and colleges locally. Allowances in respect of those students fall within the additional 1,000 study loans awards are yet to be processed. Some institutions, such as the University of Eswatini, have with effect from the 27th of April 2023 submitted invoices in this regard, while others are yet to submit their invoices. Student allowances, particularly for the University of Eswatini, have been processed as follows. A total of 3,864 students out of a population of 4,330 students supported by the government program have received their allowances. 31 of the payments bounced due to inactive bank accounts. 52 of the invoiced students presented queries and could not be processed. However, these are currently being addressed by both the Ministry and the University Administration. A total of 383 students yet to be following the university submitting its invoices on the 27th of April and 3rd of May 2020 for these students. This number is reflective of the number of study loans that were added following cabinet approval to add 1,000 study loans awards allocated for financial year 2022-2023. The Ministry appeals for students to exercise patience and calm as it reiterates its commitment to ensure that student welfare is priority and that an enabling environment is created for them to make their learning journey a positive experience, and of course cannot achieve this without the cooperation of all stakeholders, that is the tertiary institutions, student body and parents. This press release has been released by S.M. Dawe, the Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Labour and Social Security. Now moving to this, the Labour Advisory Board Chairperson who is also Commissioner of Labour, says the board is keen to see the Eswatini Decent Work Programme being adequately implemented. The Eswatini Decent Work Country Programme also deals with the issue of minimum wage.
The Labour Advisory Board was commissioned last Wednesday by the Minister of Labour and Social Security, Phila Buthelezi. The board decided to hold its first meeting where it's set to find ways how to implement the Eswatini Decent Programme. The Labour Advisory Board Chairperson Tunzi Shaba about the objective of the meeting.
When we start our work as an LAB, we want to strategize very well, see how best, and then this time around achieve maximum results in the implementation of this particular document. So here we are meeting to, number one, prioritize the priorities, like I've said, because the document has got 3 priority outcomes, and then each priority outcome has got around 10 on average outputs. So that makes around 30 outputs that are contained in the document. So obviously you can achieve those in 1 year. So now got to see which out of all these outputs that we would want to see being implemented in 23 which of these will then have to be implemented in 2024 in that order up until we reach the last year of the document. And then secondly, we're also meeting here as a board to also set up a team which we will call a Decent Work Program Steering Committee, so that we can be sure that people who are specifically looking into the implementation of these particular programs.
The Eswatini Work Program is for the period 2022 to 2025, while the Labour Advisory Board will be in office for the next 3 years, starting from this year. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla with Mkosi Nisa Isulwini.
The Elections and Boundaries Commission says the public should be assured that submissions made during the civic voter education exercise are being considered. The EBC says although it is just a few crawls away from completing this exercise, the Commission is looking into the submissions. It has been said by the EBC Public Relations Officer Sambonisi Bembe during an interview at Ngani on May.
Election Boundaries Commission Public Relations Officer Mbonisi Pembe says they have already started looking into submissions made during civic voter education. Pembe says submissions made about other government ministries and departments will be shared with relevant officers for attention.
tiphi letehlukile lesititfolile phambilini lokho kwendela ukuthi nangabe tindzaba tsinza ngco lukhetfo tibuke libandla lisalungiselela lento emalungiselelo ekubhalisa njengalokuvile ukuthi mhla ka10 kulesithathu lesiya kuwo libandla litabe licalisa ukubhalisa nangesigaba lapho siyopha abantu ukuthi lababhalile ukuthi bayovote kuleyo ndzaba isigaba ncoma sibaselukhetho lukhetho nobe lesibili isigaba sekukhankasa tonke letindzaba telukhetho sitawubuka lokuthi sinseka ngakulupha ngokuthi silungisa khona ukulungisa defuna ukuthi tingene emthethweni nembala tihambe tiyolungisa leto hlangothi leto.
The ABC has already tabled 2 bills in Parliament which seek to improve national elections. Bembe says although submissions made during voter education will not be part of the bills in Parliament, this submission may inform some of the change during elections. For TV, Temgosi Mavimbela with Temba Shabangu, Nganini.
The EU ambassador Slava Kamalova says they will support the Bushfire Festival because it promotes skills and economic development of the country. The ambassador was speaking at the House on Fire, Malkens, during the media launch of the Bushfire Schools Festival on Tuesday.
EU ambassador Slava Kamalova says the Bushfire Festival and skills and promotes economic development of the country. He was speaking during the Bushfire media launch, which was held at the House on Fire on Tuesday.
When we speak about this, we think about what they give us dreams, they add color and joy to the normal daily routines. But we often forget that the creative industries, the arts, create jobs.
The deputy representative of UNICEF, Shin Par, says, despite variation in the education sector, everyone must have access to education.
We are happy that the Ministry of Education has made every effort to introduce catch-up programs, introduce digital learning, compress the curriculum to make sure that children learn as much as they should.
70% of our learners going through the credits. We have 50% roughly tertiary, but then even when they graduate from those tertiary institutions, unemployed.
The Bushfire Schools Festival usually sees learners partaking and benefiting from the Schools Festival in different ways. Reporting MKN MCB with Smuva Shongwe at the House on Fire in Malkens.
Let's take a look at financial indicators.
It can be.
And now into our sports roundup, we begin with the swimming news, where the swimming national team will come to the performances by the swimming national team that was in Angola for the Ghana Games, where the career is over 10 medals, including over 5 gold medals, is a result of a project that began years ago.
We begin our sports news with swimming, where after a great performance of the Eswatini swimming national team at this year's Canton for game in Angola, where over 30 medals were collected, including over gold medals, it positioned the country to 6th position. The team nation took part of the tournament, something that the national team head coach Welcome Clavert says is a result of a long-term project.
Sase siyaqala ke kumedala ke last year eZambia la kusho khona ukuthi lento lebesolo le long term goal lebesinayo inyalo is bearing the fruit, so sicale ngalokho sivele sisho na abacabaye kule competition singa expect to, but sakika eminyaka ethide ukuthi after leminyaka sasithola medal.
And in football, the National Women's League, the Women Football Association chairperson Bongosi Mhlanga says that the recent support sponsorship received in different ways has contributed immensely to the development of women football, and soon results will be noted even at national team level.
I-performance nangabe isetulu vele kusho ukuthi nelikhethelo lesivele performance yalo khona abasetulu, so sibona nje ukuthi from ma-results siwabona kulamalanga kuyasikhombisa ukuthi noma bahamba baye sivele but perform because vele lesithi siyakhupha kancane kancane, siyithemba ukuthi sitagcina sifikile nathi lapho sifuna khona.
In international news, UEFA Champions League game will be reaching the semi-finals with the much anticipated game to see defending champions Real Madrid hosting Manchester City. On Wednesday, there is a Milan derby in a second fixture when AC Milan play Inter Milan. For Eswatini Sports,
and that's how we reach the end of tonight's bulletin. But before we leave you, let's hear as a reminder of tonight's. The Deputy Prime Minister says there are over 1,000 children who are currently housed in different care facilities across the country. The Minister of Finance says the National Payment Systems Bill of 2022 will connect the country's financial activity to the global economy. And different stakeholders have deliberated on counter-terrorism and how threats delay economic growth within the region. All right, that's all the news we had for you tonight. Thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned. The weather forecast from all of us here as the Eswatini TV news team. It's good night.